I don't know what was going
You're fine. You're fine. You're fine.
on. How's things?
What?
How's everything? How you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you? It's sunny here.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, no, I'm good. Just got up and did a workout, and then been getting ready for this. Looking forward to it.
I'm excited too.
Yeah, awesome.
Very excited to hearing about what you do for a living.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Well, do you want me to get right into it?
Yeah, and then I have some questions about fatherhood too.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so my job is I do mindset and performance coaching. So I do one-on-one or group stuff, like work with football clubs, like in Australia, obviously it's locally AFL clubs and stuff, or one-on-one with people who want to make it sort of a transformation and do things that they are struggling to achieve at the minute. So like most people get raised with, and like myself in particular, I had the same thing. I was raised with sort of a belief system that, you just go to school, get a steady job, and that's that. And then so what I've learned through the years and what I'm trying to teach other people is like there is more to life, and to teach people to sort of go for their goals, go for their dreams and follow their passions. And through my programs, I try and change those like limiting beliefs and allow them to really understand what's possible for them and start to back themselves and become more confident in their choices and that sort of thing. So, yeah, that's sort of the basis of it.
Do you like doing what you're doing with your clients?
Yeah, I love it. It's amazing. Like, it's so great to see someone transform. If they're having troubles in their relationship, you see their relationship start to change because they change that mindset of like, it's a lot about how you talk to yourself. And if you're saying I'm in a bad relationship, what happens is that negative talk becomes your subconscious beliefs and you act off of your subconscious beliefs. So like the bulk of the work is how do you talk to yourself? What are the conversations you're having with yourself? And then changing those so that you can change your actions and your results. And so, yeah, it's amazing to see people go from, I'm in a bad relationship to I'm in an amazing relationship, or I don't like my job, to finding a job that they really are passionate about and love and they're excited every day. And just even shifting out of like, that rat race type of lifestyle where you're going through the motions. That's sort of where it all started for me. That's where I was in a job that like I fell into it out of school. I dropped out of school. I just took an apprenticeship as a bricklayer and then like worked in the on the oil rigs after that because it was better money, because you're told just to get more money to have a happier life. But ultimately nothing was fulfilling me. And like I had kids, I had a wife, but my relationship was struggling because I wasn't being fulfilled. And I think a lot of men struggle with that because we're taught that like you're here, you're put on this earth to provide for your family, like have kids or find a wife, have kids, and then provide for them. And then everything should be good. If you can provide a good life for them, then everything's sorted. But ultimately, if you suppress your desires, you're never going to be fully fulfilled. And then if you're not fulfilled, you're actually not serving your family in the best way either. Because like if you're unhappy with your work, if you're unhappy with your relationships and that sort of thing, you're not going to show up for your family in the way that you need to. And like one of the things I say to a lot of my clients is like, if you've got kids, like you want what's best for your kids. You want them to have the best life possible. You want them to do something that they really love. So why would you not do it? Because they're learning everything off of you. So to teach them the best way in life is to show them and do what you want to do in life and show them like how great life can be if you're following your passion.
That sounds good.
Yeah. like
Oh,
yourself, you've got podcasts, you do the cookie business, like
yeah,
obviously
yeah,
following that you
yeah,
really are passionate about, yeah.
yeah. I'm very passionate about the cookies. I mean, and I do a lot of projects. I keep myself
Yeah.
occupied with stuff to do around the house.
Yeah. And that's what, like, it's hard because people go, well, I don't know what I'm passionate about. But, you're never going to know unless you try new things. So, like, trying new things is one of the things you got to do. Like, you got to get out there. You got to get uncomfortable. And, yeah, you're going to try things that you don't like. That's fine. Don't do them again. But not trying anything, you're not going to learn anything, and you're not going to grow. You're not going to find out what you do like. Like, you got to try 10 things that you hate to find the thing that you like.
Mhm.
And it's like, once it's like finding your passion, people are, I don't know how to find my passion. Well, what don't you like? Like, everyone can tell you what they don't like. If I ask you what you do like, I don't know, not really sure. But if I say, what do you hate? Well, boom, everyone can answer that question straight
Yeah.
away. And then, well, what you like is the opposite of what you hate, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things I like, but I don't know
Yeah.
how to start it.
Yeah. Well, it's not even about how to start it. It's just trying to start it, right? Like, when you're looking at starting a podcast, it's not about having it where everyone else is. Like, you don't have to have Joe Rogan's podcast today, because he didn't have his podcast 7 years ago. He had what he started with. It's all about starting, like,
Yeah.
there's a story of the boy going through the woods with the horse, and he says to the horse, I can't find my way through the forest. And the horse says, can you see your first step? He's like, yeah. And he's like, just take the first step, and the next step will come, and the next step, and the next step. And that's what it's all about, right? Like, you won't, when you set a big goal for yourself, like, that's what I sort of get my clients to do, is to set themselves a really big goal of what they really want in life, like everything that they want in life. And then they're not going to know how to get it from day one, but do you know what the first step is? And then take that first step, and then that'll start to move towards what you really want in life. And that's same with like sporting clubs and that sort of thing. Like, when I talk to a football team, obviously they're talking about winning premierships and all that sort of thing. And so it's like, it's not about where you are now. Like, you want to win the premiership, excellent. So what do you got to do tomorrow to get towards that? Well, it's showing up and doing the training, or it's playing better on game day, or it's these little things. And it's all these little things that start to snowball into a bigger project and a bigger more momentum. And then it creates the change that you want to get in life. But I think people sort of get stuck on, I need to do these big, massive things that look amazing, sound amazing, whatever. But it's all small steps. Small steps change habits, and then your habits change your future.
Yeah.
So what about the parent? How's uncle life for you?
It's good. I get to see my nieces and nephews once in a while. They're on
Yep.
my sister is on vacation seeing my grandparents and my cousins, because they haven't seen my niece, because she was born last October. So
Oh,
they haven't seen her for the first time. So they're seeing her this weekend.
yep.
So I mean, I got to spend time with my niece last weekend. So that was nice.
Yeah.
So that was exciting.
Yeah, I had a similar situation with my nephew. I didn't get to see him till only a couple of weeks ago, because same thing, the borders were closed in Australia and you couldn't really travel much and all that sort of drama. But things are back to normal now, so that's good. We can finally start to see each other again and start to act normally again.
But I haven't seen the boys in the while since the last time maybe I saw them after I saw my niece, but they came over and they ate McDonald's with me or something. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, the cool uncle stuff, right? Like you can feed them full of sugar and then send them home. That's what it's all
Yeah.
about.
Well, my mom came home with them, came over with them because she was watching them, and I said, okay, well, just come to my house and just bring
Yeah,
them over.
yeah,
So I mean, mostly they don't like to be over here because I don't have so many toys to play with. So
yeah,
they're trying to find. They need to bring toys over here so they can play over here. So
yeah.
because they're very
Yeah,
young, they're like 3 and 5. So it's just like they're whack, they're crazy, but I love them.
yeah. Yeah, I remember those days. Well, my boys are 5, 6, 7, and 8. So my house is out of control 99% of the time.
I bet. I mean, they have tons of toys. It's like crazy. Like
Yeah,
everywhere I go see the toys are everywhere.
yeah.
Yeah, they don't want to pick up their toys, or you have to pick up the toys for them. And it's just crazy.
Yeah, our place is trash. But, you know, like we're pretty good, with the four of them. You got to be pretty disciplined, I think, like following through with what you're saying. And like if they're not going to pick them up, it's like, all right, you're just going to go sit in the corner until you're ready to pick them up, because that's the two options. Like there's no, if you give your kids the option to do it, the third option is to walk away and let you pick them up, they're going to take that option every time, right?
Yeah.
But like I think parents are always afraid of, like, not being their kid's best friend, or like, they're afraid of the kid having a tantrum. So they're just like, I'll take the easy option and I'll just do it. But ultimately, like, it just creates a resentment. You get tired of it, and then you end up screaming at them because, they didn't do what they were told. But ultimately, like, you never followed through. So I think one of the biggest things with parenting is like taking ownership and just, you got to follow through with your kids, especially when they're young, because that's just going to build better habits as they get older, right?
Yeah.
Like our kids are pretty good. Like they do leave shit around a bit. Like my two sons from my previous marriage, they spend a lot more time with their mum, so they still have a few bad habits from that, and they come around and they're a bit more messy and that sort of thing. But my wife now, her sons are pretty good because she's had them on her own for a long time, and she sort of realised that herself. She's like, I just can't be picking up after kids all the time. So I'm going to have to train them to look after themselves a little bit. And it's a really good, I think parents they sort of are afraid a little bit of, giving their kids independence, because it sort of comes across as you're a lazy parent. But what you're actually doing is you're setting them up for success later in life. Like we've sort of moved away from our kids being independent, whereas like, 40, 50 years ago, kids like had all the independence in the world. They'd get up in the morning, jump on their bikes, ride off, and you wouldn't see them till the sun comes down.
Yeah.
Like that's what dad talks about all the time. He's like, I never did what you guys did. And I say it to my kids too. Like my dad was pretty relaxed with everything. He's like, I'd go missing for a day and it wasn't a big deal. But now parents are like, want to have like their kids tracked with watches, and they've got to have their own cell phones. And what that does is it creates, there's a really good book. Yeah, I've got it right here for anyone. Raising Lions by Joe Newman, and he's fantastic. But, he talks about the mindset of children and how, like, if you're doing that helicopter parenting, like what you're actually doing is you're letting your kids think that they're in charge of you, and you're creating like a really anxious child because they think that they're not only in control, but then they have to protect you. So by giving them freedom, you're actually giving them like the freedom to not feel like they have to take care of you as well, and like that you're in charge. And that goes the same with disciplining them as well. Like if you're disciplining them, they're like, all right, mum and dad are in charge, so I'm safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely worth a read. If you want to, if your kids aren't picking up their toys, Joe Newman, Raising Lions. I've actually, he does online stuff as well, and I actually did a session with him. He's a really great guy. His audio book's amazing.
I might have to check that out.
Yeah, it's definitely worth a listen. It's an easy listen. He just talks about all the work that he's done over the years, and the story resonated with me because he spoke about in his younger days he was dyslexic and didn't do well in school, and I was the same. I was diagnosed as dyslexic and struggled through school with like concentrating and that sort of thing, but sort of goes into, people don't really, you do have those problems, but you're also able to overcome them with the right structures and stuff. So as long as someone's willing to put in the work and sort of motivate you in the right way, it doesn't matter that you do have those issues. You'll still be able to overcome them and do well.
Yeah, I live with a disability, so I understand.
Yeah. What's your disability?
Learning.
Yeah. Like dyslexic is a learning. It's the same thing.
I mean now it's tough nowadays because I just found when I was in college 4 years ago, I found out I had a health condition, so that kind of screwed me over and my legs are like really bad nowadays. So now I'm in a wheelchair most of the time.
Yeah.
So it's hard to get around to see the nieces and nephews, but I do see them, but it's hard just living with it.
See, like you were saying, you said you get diagnosed with a learning disability, yet you went to college. Now you're doing these podcasts, you've got your own businesses. Like, you can't tell me that you're not an intelligent person.
Well, I am. I mean, I am. I'm just like, it's tough.
Yeah.
It's
but
very
it
tough.
is because, and this is where I get back to like talking to people about following what they're passionate about, as opposed to school teaches you to just become a good employee at a company, right? Whereas life isn't like that. So you're passionate about what you do. So that's why you're doing well in it. And so you're not being taught in school what to do as far as like how to live a fulfilling life.
Yeah.
But, you're labeled learning disabled, which is, like I was saying before, that's the information that you're getting in, which is creating a subconscious belief. And like I had the same thing. I was constantly, repeatedly told that I wasn't going to do well in life because I wasn't doing well in school. But that's completely not true, because
not true.
Yeah, not at all. And I think that's one of the big things that like I try and help shift in people is like, that's a hard thing to break. If you've been living with that your entire life, you have to understand that it's not true, because like you will have success and there'll be parts of your life that are successful, but it's about taking that and moving it into every other aspect of your life, like realizing that it is possible to have like the job of your dreams, the career of your dreams, the relationship of your dreams. All those things are possible for everybody. They just have to be willing to believe it, because your beliefs is as far as you'll ever go, right? Your brain won't allow you to ever become a liar to yourself. So whatever you're telling yourself, that is the facts. That is your facts. And once you get to that point, your brain goes, right, that's as far as I'm going to allow you to go, because I can't make you a liar, okay? So you have to be able to expand the beliefs that you have to be able to move past where you're at.
Yeah. I understand.
And like, yeah. And like you say, you got told that you were learning, so just like myself, but, would someone that's that like hard up in life be able to run their own cookie business, start all these podcasts, do all these awesome things? No, I don't believe that for a second.
No.
I don't think anyone should ever be labelled like that, because like you're just setting people up to limit themselves from such a young age. And like and like I was saying, like school teaches it teaches one way for everyone, but not everyone does the same job. Not everyone sits in an office in front of a computer and like types all day, but that's what school is sort of set up for. Whereas like people work with their hands, and now, like, 10 years ago, some of the industries that we have right now, like podcasting and, all the online space, like there is no, like that wasn't there before, but there's no way to learn that skill in school because the school systems haven't kept up with like what we do.
Totally.
You got any other questions for me?
So what's a life as a dad for you?
Life as a dad. So my sons from my previous marriage, they stay with their mum during the week because I live on opposite sides of the city. So I live in Brisbane, Australia. And so I get them on the weekends. So the normal dad life is my stepsons with my wife, they're like a normal day is their school day. So I get up, I usually go for a run because I run ultra marathons as well. So usually up at about 4:00 in the morning, I go for a run, get home. The boys are usually like up making breakfast and getting themselves ready, and then get them to school, do my work day, and then go pick them up in the afternoon and might go hang out, try and get some I find it like it's really important to get a bit of one-on-one time with them, or, a bit of alone time with them, and go take them to the skate park or whatever, as long as I don't have anything else on. And then sort of make dinner and do the nighttime routine. But then the weekends is where it's like full on, with the 4 kids, it's full on dad mode then. So we got, all 4 of them. You get up in the morning and it's chaos, and you're trying to think. Like, I really like to have experiences with them. I think it's really important. Like, people think that, you gotta, if you're doing well as a parent if you buy your kids all the coolest shit. But I think like giving them a really great experience. So we like to get out, take them to the beach, push their boundaries a little bit. Like, I like to, get them to try new things, as far as like maybe riding a dirt bike or jumping off the bridge down at the beach or Telebudra and that sort of thing. Like just trying new things that they're a little bit afraid of, just to like boost their confidence. And that's what I really enjoy doing with my kids is giving them new life experiences and things that they can sort of grow on then. Like, if they're ever feeling a little bit afraid, they can look back and go, well, I did this big thing, so maybe I can do this thing.
Yeah. Is there like any things that do they like to do? Like, besides, like, do they have any activities that they like to do?
Yeah, they love heaps of things. They like bike riding, scooters. They all love that sort of stuff. They love fishing. We got a boat and we go out fishing with the kids a fair bit. And my oldest son Hunter, I bought him a bow and arrow, so he loves archery as well. Well, all of them like it, but they all keep trying to steal his bow off him, so I've got to buy 3 more, which is the hard part of having 4 boys. Is you got to have 4 of everything because no one wants to share anything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, have separate different interests.
So do they have different interests that they like to do besides doing bow and arrow all the time?
Yeah, like, Hunter loves Lego. Jaden's into drawing and writing, that sort of thing. He's the oldest. Jackson's a bit more of he just walks around the house singing all the time. So he's right into that. And my youngest, Austin, he's pretty quiet. He's pretty chill. He's actually got cystic fibrosis. So he's had a bit of a different life to everyone else as well, because he's had a lot of time in and out of hospital, which is like a whole nother challenge with the whole parenting thing, because you spend weeks at time, like days and weeks in hospital with him, and then the other kids are sort of, at home. You don't really get to see them because, you have to take care of Austin. And so, yeah, it's been like a big hurdle in our life. Like, and like it's it's all good. Like, he's well, and like he's in good nick now. And but yeah, that was another thing that you just got to overcome. And it was how are you going to treat him, and how you're going to treat like this situation. And I think for me, just treating him like it was nothing, like it's normal, and not sort of pandering to him too much, and babying him, and letting him realise that, you know, it's just the cards he was dealt in life. But anyone can overcome any obstacle if they're willing to put in the work, and he's able to do that. Like, you wouldn't know any different.
So here's a funny. Do you have any embarrassing stories?
Embarrassing stories, like embarrassing parenting stories.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think. I've probably got heaps, but one of the hospital one. So my sons are born on the 28th of the 4th and the 27th of the 5th, and I think every time I go into hospital, they ask me the date of birth, and I get that wrong. Yeah. So that's usually pretty embarrassing, because they think it's not my kid or something. But I'm sure there's always the old stories of your kids like weeing on you when you're changing nappies and all that sort of thing. But I haven't left any of them at school. I got a phone call the other day from my ex-wife, and the kids were at school, because like we alternate like when we pick them up and that sort of thing, and there was a miscommunication there, so they got left at school, which was probably pretty embarrassing. But that one, yeah, I don't play the blame game there. But and then the one that was, I don't know if it's embarrassing or what, but my oldest son, we went camping, and he fell off a dirt bike and got 2nd-degree burns up the back of his leg, and I had to ring the ex-wife and tell her that he'd been riding a dirt bike, which she does not approve of at all. So that was a tough conversation. I don't know if it's embarrassing, but it's a story anyway.
Was it hard to deal with changing diapers?
No, I didn't find any difficulties in it. Like, I just saw it as something that had to be done, and got on with it. You know, the hardest part was like getting up in the middle of the night and doing it. I think like just you get this, you know, the lack of sleep, like constantly waking up. But you know, when my first son was born and when my second son was born, you know, I was just so excited about being a dad that I was just happy to have those moments with him, especially being a dad. Like, the mum's breastfeeding, so she gets all this time. And so as a dad, like, I saw that as my moment to like have that one-on-one time, because there just really wasn't a lot of time for dads. You know, you get the odd hold here and there, and so I just took that as my time to shine, I guess.
Did you do the chest with the baby?
Yeah. I used to sleep with him in the early mornings, like so Dad sort of feed around 4 or 5 o'clock, and then because you were so tired, sort of sleep in and sort of lays around the bed for a couple more hours. So that's usually when I'd have him, like sleep with him on my chest. And then I really wouldn't sleep that much, because you know you got a kid lying on your chest, you don't want to roll over, but you're sort of half asleep, half awake.
Do they have any favorite movies that they like to watch now?
Yeah, I got them onto Home Alone the other day, and they've been loving that. That's one of their favourites, watching the bad guys get electrocuted and fall down the stairs and all that sort of thing. I think that's their favourite at the minute. But the kids, they just go through phases, you know. When Austin was, say 2, it was like Moana was on every day, just day in, day out, over and over and over. And like, I think they've had all sorts. I think most kids do that. They go through these phases where they latch onto one movie and they just drive it home, you know. It's like on all the time. But they're a little bit older now, so they don't get too stuck on one thing. They can play the Nintendo and all that sort of stuff as well. They've just recently got a Nintendo, so they're pretty hooked on that. So Now it's like
old Nintendo or the new Nintendo? There's so many.
their Switch. They got the little Switch one, so they're all huddled around that.
Yeah,
Until I find.
I have the handheld one.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's the one that they've got.
and it's like everybody's like talking now about all the Nintendos. I have like all the old Nintendos and new Nintendos, but they're all at my brother-in-law's house because I said I'm not playing
Right.
with these. I have tons in boxes, never took them out. Just tons
Yeah,
of old Nintendos. It's just crazy.
yeah, yeah. I love that. I keep wanting to get a Nintendo 64 so I could play GoldenEye or something with them. Beat them.
Oh, well, do they have a favorite game though on there? Like,
Yeah, they got Minecraft. They're like every other kid in the world at the minute. I think everyone's into Minecraft.
is Minecraft your favorite? Like,
Yeah,
is that
that's
your
the
favorite
yeah.
game?
They love Minecraft. They got Minecraft clothes. They got Minecraft like toys and books. And my oldest son, my son Hunter was like in some Minecraft training thing at school. Like they're just all over it.
Do they play I think it's called go-kart or
I don't think so. I think they've only just got it. So they only got a couple of games, but I don't really pay much attention to it. I personally like want them to go outside more. So I'm like,
yeah,
that's it. Off, get outside.
brains don't get screwed.
Yeah. It's good. Like, everyone's doing it. So, like, to give them a little bit of time, it's fine. It's just when they if you don't regulate it, they'll be happy to sit there for 10 hours,
Yeah. What would be like, have you guys, do they give you guys, what's like different like TV kind of shows that you have in Australia that we don't have in the US?
There's heaps, like, so we've got ABC, and that's like it's different to your guys' ABC, but that's like all Australian, like, sort of TV shows and that sort of thing. Oh, well, do you guys have Bluey? That's like the big one at the minute. It's an Australian cartoon and it's really popular over here. It's popular with parents too. Even I watch it. It's not bad.
Yeah, we have that.
Yeah, that was like the big one. There's a bunch of other smaller ones too, like Play School, and I think they're all like rip-offs of other countries' TV shows. But I honestly can't say, like, I don't know what the kids really watch too much. They're usually on Netflix nowadays. Like they ask if they can use something on Netflix because they want to watch, what everyone else is watching. So a lot of the TV shows here are imported from overseas anyway.
I mean, there's some Australian shows on here, but they're like on Netflix. Like they have some good movies, from Australia or the Canada side.
Yeah.
But
yeah, we got a pretty big film industry down here. Like, well, I live not that far from the Gold Coast, so that's where they film like Pirates of the Caribbean and all those sorts. I think some of the Thor movie was filmed there as well. Like they do heaps of stuff down there. Aquaman was done there. So yeah, they've got a lot of cool stuff here.
Do you have a favorite restaurant you like to go to in this when you get mom and pop kind of what time alone away from the kids that you do?
Yeah, there's a really good Greek restaurant just near here called Opa. But, we try and mix it up every time. We like to try and find new things as well. So, check out different places. It's really important for your relationship, especially with 4 kids, to try and, try new things and to keep like your love life, spiced up, I guess is the word, because it's easy when you become parents to start to concentrate on like you should just be parents, like your parents now, that's the most important thing. But you got to remember that you know, it's different for my wife and myself because we met each other with kids, but a lot of parents, like they were couples before they were parents, and it's really important to get back to that and remember like who you were without kids, even though that you've got kids, you both love them and everything, but you don't want to neglect your partner. So yeah, we definitely try and get out on date nights as much as we can. The kids are actually over at their grandparents right now. We've got to go pick them back up. But yeah, we went out night before last. We actually just went to a place that does really good hot wings and stuff. So we got all dressed up and then just decided we wanted something greasy.
Oh. Do they have nice burgers down there?
Yeah, usually most places are like trying to just rip off American burgers though. But it's sort of like all started to pop up over the last couple of years. Like when I was a kid growing up, it was really just like McDonald's and that sort of thing. But you definitely don't have. I lived in Canada for 3 years, and so like got to see sort of more of the real American style stuff. And then by the time I got home, it had all started to pop up here. There's a few little like, you know, family-owned restaurants and that sort of thing that do really good stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions for me?
I didn't even write anything down.
Well,
I'll do. So I've just started my own podcast, and one of the last questions is, if you could have dinner with 4 people, dead or alive, who would it be?
oh, okay. Well, I think I would maybe Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
I mean, who else is who's dead or alive? Well, I know I would maybe pick Avril Lavigne if she's alive, but
Yeah.
like her kind of music.
Yeah.
And who else? I don't know. Who else is
Surely it'd have to be someone in cooking because you got the cookie business.
oh yes, I know. Who's dead is I don't know anybody that's maybe Duff Goldman.
Yeah. Who's that? I don't think I know who that is.
He has a baker. He's also on. He used to have his own baking show on Food Network or TLC back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was that cool show on Netflix. That was the Back to the TV show thing. My kids got me on.
Yeah. There's so many shows on Netflix.
Yeah.
Baking, like the British baking cook-off.
Yeah. Yeah, that cake
good.
one was pretty cool. Like, that was incredible watching people like make a cake out of like look like tacos or whatever. And
yeah,
I was blown away that people can do that sort of stuff. Hey, like it's incredible. But the kids love that one. Like start screaming at the
there's so many freaking baking shows on Netflix. It can't stop looking at them. There's like so many. But yeah, it's just crazy.
Can't come up with a fourth.
Oh, the fourth.
You don't have to.
What's another person that Celine Dion.
Oh yeah. Yeah, cool. That's a good mix.
Yeah, she would be amazing.
Yeah. So how many podcasts do you have?
Oh, let's see how many I have. I have the Uncles in Fatherhood. I have the radio podcast that I did in college and I brought back to Kansas City. That's Two Guys in a Sound System. And another one I had before I went to college. I don't really do that often. but I just keep that one and just up and just going because it has so many playlists on there from so many great bands on there and interviews that I've interviewed. I've interviewed a couple of people that I interviewed. John Cusimano, Rachel Ray's husband.
Yeah.
I got to interview him a couple of times.
Yeah, awesome.
I also got to interview Shannon Bex from Danity Kane, a local, like a musician, a band that was on MTV back in the day.
Yeah.
And who else? Some local musicians in Nashville and Brody Buster band. He's a really good jazz musician in Kansas City.
Yeah, cool.
So
that's awesome.
And then some amazing dads.
Yeah. How often do you do the dad podcast?
I've been trying to do it every other. If I can get more interviews, I mean, I have another one on the 19th.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to book another interview with some people for the music for Two Guys in a Sound System.
Yeah.
But it takes a while.
Yeah.
Trying to book them.
Yeah. Trying to get everything to line up.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
I can do it. I mean,
yeah, awesome.
So it's fun working for like doing the bachelor work for Uncles and Fatherhood, trying to promote diapers and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
So it keeps me occupied.
Yeah, you sound like you're busy.
And stuff. I mean, I have a lot of things on my plate, but it's just it's there. I mean,
yeah, that's what life's all about, right? Like you got to squeeze every last drop out of it.
I mean, I do everything all planned out. So the time I have, like I do my baking, like I did my baking yesterday. So I had like little time for everything. And I just push it in every day, try to get everything done. I do things outside of my projects. I go to church once in a while, or I do whatever, but just keep myself occupied with different opportunities that I can be a part of.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's really good.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, how are we going for time? You gonna call it there?
Yeah, if you want to.
I think my iPad's about to die, but you want to? If you got any more questions, I'll go grab the charger and we'll keep going.
Okay, we can. I have a couple more we can do.
Yeah. What do you got?
Let's see. Have you got any what did you do for Father's Day?
What did we do for Father's Day? That's a good question. I can't even remember. I know the kids all got I had the kids here, and what did we do? This is going to look really bad now. You put me on the spot. I know. I got some really cool.
Do they give you gifts, or do they do something creative?
Like the kids always. My wife always gets the kids to make cards, so I've got a bunch of cards, and I'm just going out to my car. I've left all my chargers in the car. I just don't want the iPad to die on you. Yeah, I got a speaker, and I always get underwear as well. She likes to buy me like weird, crazy undies. So I've got like a pair that's got Where's Wally on it, and then like the kids always pick ones that they think are funny. So I got one with like a grizzly bear that says free hugs.
Oh, that's
Yeah, I got all sorts of stuff, but my wife's really big on giving gifts. She loves giving lots of things. So yeah, it was awesome. Like, yeah, I'm never short of gifts in this house.
Let's see what else we have on here.
You're gonna have to start an Uncle's Day.
What?
You'll have to create an Uncle's Day so you can. Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah. Still trying to figure everything out. All good?
Yeah.
What was your next questions?
Oh, what were you saying about uncles and fatherhood?
I was saying you'll have to start the Uncle's Day.
Oh yeah, that would be fun. That would be fun.
Yeah.
Like get together kind of thing.
Yeah, I know. Like I feel like just the same as Father's Day for uncles. You could start getting your own.
There's some things I want to do, like a get together kind of thing, like in like a meetup kind of thing, or something online for all the dads to just come on live and meet each other. That would be amazing.
Yeah, you could easily do that. Start like a Facebook group and then go from there.
Yeah, I have a Facebook group, so that's all.
Yeah.
That's all worked on and stuff.
You just throw up a Zoom link or something, and then like we're meeting this day. Done.
Yeah. But that would be exciting to get everybody involved. Like bring you in and then bring some other people in, and
yeah.
And so everybody can meet each other.
Yeah.
Because that's what they do on my Instagram. So on Uncles and Fatherhood, all the dads come in because I support gay dads, straight dads, and all the dads get together and talk to each other.
Yeah, that's really awesome what you do. Like it's it's a really selfless act, and it's really I can't even think of the words right now, but like it's really heartwarming, to see someone just genuinely trying to help other people through like this medium, through podcasting. Like you've given everyone the opportunity to, like, parents to have a voice, but then it gives other people a chance to like hear from someone else's perspective and learn something new. And it's really great what you're doing. I really love it. I'm glad like I was able to be on here. Yeah. Hopefully I'll be able to give some sort of helpful advice and not just ramble, but
well, I mean, there is I did an interview with another dad from Australia. And he was I think he was a life coach as well. So I don't know. Yeah. I forget his name, but he does follow me on like all the platforms. So
yeah, cool.
And then I guess your friend also, that you must have tagged him on or something, and he saw, so you follow me or something, and he's following me now. So
yeah, awesome.
So yeah,
I'll share your stuff, and then I'll definitely, as soon as you get like this one up, we'll share it as well, so we can get it promoted and get it out there. It'd be great.
I will. What do you have any let's see what other questions I have. What did you want to do when you were like a kid? Like, did you want to do anything different when you
were originally I wanted to play AFL, like professional football, but I sort of wasn't that good at it and realized that early on. And so I gave up on that one pretty quickly. And then through school, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I know it's changed a lot. Like even recently in the last few years, like I applied for the police because I knew that I had this feeling of like wanting to help other people and wanting to do something a bit more significant with my life other than just earning a paycheck. Like I wanted to do something that made a difference and that I could be really proud of. And that's sort of, I didn't get into the police, and then I was still thinking of like what things I could do, and then sort of fell into the coaching stuff. So, using my experience in life to help people either avoid those same experiences of like getting divorced or, being stuck in a career that they're unhappy with, and getting them to, take the risk and back themselves, and understanding that they do have the capability and, they have the right basically to do what they want to do and live like a life that they desire and that they're really passionate about and that they can be proud of as well. So like, and I guess sort of the coaching stuff, my dad actually does similar work. He was in the Air Force and does leadership and team building coaching, and it's quite well known in Australia, like in the AFL industry and that sort of thing. So I guess it's sort of always been, I've been around it and sort of seen it in my life. And so, yeah, it was always there. It was just like for me, realizing that it was a possibility.
So that did answer my question. So
yeah.
So you did you do anything else when did you have other things you wanted to do besides doing coaching?
As far as like, I always wanted to be a dad. Like that was something that I've always wanted. So I mean, I've achieved that goal, which is fantastic.
5 kids.
Yeah. Just 4. I don't want one more. I don't need any more. 4's enough. Don't jinx me.
Well, you never know.
Yeah, you never know. But we'll stick with the 4 for now.
Did you ever want a girl in that situation? Were you?
I never said I didn't want a girl, but like I always liked the idea of having boys. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't have been upset if I had a girl for sure. And my ex-wife and my current wife, I think they both wanted a girl at some stage in their life, but you get what you get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, girls are fun, boys are fun.
Yeah.
So I mean, you get what you get.
Yeah, that's it. So we got the boys now, so I'll just stick with it. It makes it easier, and especially because they're all like close in age and stuff, clothes shopping and all that sort of thing, toy shopping. It's really easy. Yeah, everyone just gets the same sort of stuff, with a few little tweaks here and there.
Well, that's good that they don't have any fights on what one they get, what color.
Yeah. Oh no, they still fight like that, but it's all good. I think some things are unavoidable in life, like fighting with your siblings. It's part of nature. It's like it just has to be done. I remember fighting with my brother and sister about everything, but you eventually get over it, and you grow up.
Yeah. Do they when you do Christmas in Australia?
Yeah, we do. It's just different because it's summer here, so we do like a summer Christmas, not a winter, because everything's flipped. So our long summer holiday is our Christmas holiday as well, which works out like really well.
Do you guys do Thanksgiving at all, or no?
No, we don't have Thanksgiving. We have Australia Day, which is our like basically like like the same thing. But yeah, it's a little bit different. We celebrate it a little bit differently because the Thanksgiving's the day that they found America, basically, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So Australia Day is like a similar thing. It's the day that they landed in Australia, but there's a bit of contention there too. Like there's native Australians, the Aboriginal people, are not really happy about celebrating on that day because they say it's the day that Australia was invaded and that sort of thing. So it's a little bit, it causes some people some distress, which you can understand, I guess.
Do you go to the zoo a lot?
Oh, you go. I've been to the Steve Irwin Zoo, which I don't know if you might have heard of Steve Irwin before. But yeah, that one's not that far from here. It's only about an hour and a half away. And then there's another really good one in Brisbane, the Lone Pine, which is you can go hold the koalas and do all that kind of cool stuff as well. So I haven't been in the last sort of couple of years. I used to go a lot with the kids when they were younger, but they're sort of more into more extreme things now. They want to go to Movie World. They want to go ride the rides at the theme parks and stuff like that. So,
well, what's the do you guys have any cool places to go for doing that kind of stuff in Australia?
Yeah. There's the 4 main theme parks in Australia are all on the Gold Coast. They're about an hour south of where I live, and that's Dream World, Movie World, Wet and Wild, and SeaWorld. So Warner Brothers Movie World, that's where they actually filmed some of the movies as well, like Aquaman and that sort of thing, and Batman. Oh, I don't think they did any Batman stuff, but that's their thing. All the DC comics, that's what all the rides are based on. So there's the Joker ride and the Batman ride and all that, and Superman.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what we have on the list. Do you have anything that you hate doing as a parent?
As a parent, I don't know. Probably, I think I love cooking, but with the 4 boys, it's a constant, steady stream of I'm hungry. So through the day, you start to get sick of cooking for them all the time. But yeah, there's nothing that I hate about it. There's things that you get tired of. It's like anything. If you're just constantly doing it over and over again, it becomes sort of a bit taxing on you. But there's nothing that I hate. It's just all in moderation, right? You don't want to do too many things too many times, but everything that's bad has a good on the other side of it as well. There's always the negative and the positive.
Do they eat a lot of chicken tenders?
Yeah. They eat anything. They're just pigs. It just never ends. They're just hungry from the minute they get up to the minute they go to bed.
What's their favorite meal that you
probably
cook?
That I cook? I cook homemade pizza. They like that, or spaghetti. Usually either those two, that's the go-to. They love those staples. I'll try and cook them pretty healthy meals, but usually they get, that's a bit more of a battle.
Yeah. Let's see what else I can put on this list. Do you have any tips for new parents?
For new parents? It's so hard. I remember as a new parent, everyone would give me tips, but you're just not open to them. And all I would say is like relax. You know, your kids will survive. You don't have to like tend to them all the time. I think one of the hardest things about being a new parent is I remember like constantly being stressed about like trying to get my kids to nap and having a really good routine. But ultimately, like that stress and that anxiety sort of rubs off on your kids. It gives you the opposite effect of what you actually want. And if you just relaxed and calm and sort of let things flow, life's going to be a lot easier for you. So don't put so much pressure on yourself to be perfect. Like just you're figuring it out. Everyone's figuring it out, and you just got to try and figure out what works for you.
Do you have any, like, is there something that you're dealing with that could help somebody else?
Oh, we're always dealing with stuff. There's always something coming up. That's just life. One of the more recent ones was probably like me and my wife, like just working on our relationship again. Like, you know, I think we show up when our relationship's working really good. We show up better as parents, because if your relationship's not going well, everything else in your life isn't going well. So just like make sure you're taking time to give your partner what they need and like help each other out. And don't be guilty about like taking time for yourself. Like you can't show up for your kids, can't show up for your relationship if you haven't like fulfilled some of your own needs. So take some time for yourself to just like get grounded, do something that you enjoy, do something that's not for someone else, do something that's 100% for you. And then because you've had that time to yourself, you can show up ready to like give to other people. Because if you just constantly give, like you've got nothing left at a certain point, and that's when you become resentful of everyone around you. But if you do some things for yourself, you've got something of yourself to give.
That's good. That's good. That's a good question.
Yeah, it's awesome.
What did you say to I don't know. Nothing. I can't. That doesn't answer all the questions.
Yeah, that's all right. They're good questions. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Awesome. Thank you for coming on and doing this with me.
Oh, thank you for asking me. I really appreciate it. And like I said, like I love what you're doing. I think it's fantastic. Like what, you know, the positivity you're putting out and what you're trying to do for people. It's fantastic. And I you know, the world would be a better place if there was more people like you, mate. Like you're doing great work.
Thank you. I needed that.
Mate, you're doing great. Keep going. Don't ever give up. Persistence is the key to everything. Like everything in your life, what you want, you know, eventually the obstacle will move out of the way as long as you stick at it. So don't give up. What you're doing is really good. And anything you need, like reach out and we'll whatever I can do to help you, and let me know when the podcast is coming out and we can promote it as well.
Okay, I know I'll get it done. I post it up maybe after this or something, but I'll send it to you.
Yeah, sounds good. Can't wait.
Well, it was good chatting with you, and I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Have a great one.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.